Now, as far as India's linguistic diversity often that sparks debates about the importance of learning regional languages, the Kannada language debate on social media has only escalated over the years. This time, Zoho CEO Sridhar Vembu recently advised people living in Bengaluru to learn Kannada, calling it disrespectful not to do so after years of residing in the city. Now, Wembu's comment came in response to a viral post featuring two men wearing t-shirts with Hindi national language printed on them. And the caption read, "Perfect t-shirt for a Bangalore trip." Wembu wrote, "If you make Bengaluru your home, you should learn Kannada and your kids should learn Kannada as well." And the post has garnered over 1 million views, dividing social media users. One user pointed out the hypocrisy, saying, "I have many Kannada friends in Mumbai living here for decades. No one can speak Marathi, not one word." Another user suggested that showing openness and curiosity towards the language and culture can help reduce tensions. Is that the case? Neha Hebale, my colleague and fellow Bengalurians, joins me on the broadcast this morning. Neha, very good morning to you. Namaskara, in fact, with the fact that, this has been there for years and this is yet another instance which has come to the fore. But this also is considering the fact that this is a South Indian language and there is a sort of barrier. Even though this one comment that we just told our viewers is in a part of Maharashtra where Hindi is commonly spoken as opposed to the South, right? And at the end of the day, for anybody who travels across the country for working opportunities, you happen to learn the language. And I'm exhibit A of that. I've also consciously, picked up on a language like Hindi to be in that kind of region. But when you see instances like this come to the fore, which strikes a conversation, how is that being read at? Because you can have, bouquets, but you can also have the brickbats when this conversation comes, because at the end of the day, language and culture shouldn't be forced upon.
Well, that's absolutely right, Nivedana. Of course, you've summed it up there quite beautifully. The fact is that, for most people today, Bengaluru is an extremely sought-after location. Primarily, of course, if we're looking at the startups, if we're looking at the techies, if we're looking at, most of the big fortune companies also, in fact, that are looking at Bengaluru or at Karnataka as, a great opportunity for them to invest. The fact is that, naturally, of course, the number of localites too, in the city or in the state do happen to come down. There is, of course, somewhere that overwhelming sense for many people that, there is a need for people to have to know the local language. Of course, possibly, keeping in tandem with that, there you have Sridhar Vembu, the Zoho CEO there, who's now, put this out. But like you rightly said, of course, at the end of the day, it is a personal choice whether someone, does want to pick up the language, doesn't want to pick up the language, wants to, of course, mingle with the localites or not. We'll really have to wait and see what sort of a, response this really sparks off from industry leaders, localites and others as well.